All right, we're live. Yay!
Yay!
All right, looks like we're on. Hope so, barring any unforeseen crazy circumstances, which are bound to happen here once or twice a
I don't know. I really
episode.
should.
Anyway, good evening, everyone. 3 minutes early. It's a new record. I'm Lonnie,
I'm Amber.
I'm single sir.
and we are here with very, very special guest. This is a few months in the making. Jillian of hashtag Cosplay. Welcome to the event, the show.
Yeah.
I guess we need to clarify why you're here. You, over the course of a couple of months, just came out of nowhere and took our 2017 Untitled Nerd Network Cosplayer of the Year award.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats on that. Absolutely. Are we getting her sound?
Yeah, as
Yeah.
far as I
We're
know.
hearing you, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
we're
hear
good.
you,
We're good.
yeah.
Just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to get halfway into the interview and realize that your sound wasn't coming through. Uh, I guess tell us a little bit about yourself to begin with before we get into the meat and potatoes of how you ended up with us.
Okay, awesome. Well, my name is Jillian Moore, and I am the creator of hashtag Cosplay. So I am from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, so Southern cosplay represent. I started cosplaying in May of 2017, so I'm fairly new to the craft. I specialize in eBay foam armor and prop construction, and by day, when I am not in costume, I am a full-time digital marketing manager, and I'm a part-time fictional character, is how I like to say it.
Dang.
So that's kind of a rundown on me.
Awesome. So you're from kind of sort of our neck of the woods, the southeastern 4 or 5 states.
Yeah.
So yeah, how did you get into this? Because 9 times out of 10, the story we hear is they weren't really into it, and a friend brought them to a convention. What's your story?
My story is actually a little bit different. So I've always been interested in cosplay, just as a person who is, for one, a nerd, and for two, I've always been into theater and acting. So costuming kind of comes along with that, and I've been one of those people that constantly wanted to try to cosplay, but kind of talked myself out of it for whatever reason it may have been. Be it maybe not having convention in my area, or just not having the confidence to put a costume together. And so I recently was watching, funny enough, the show Cosplay Melee on Sci-Fi, which I don't know if anybody's watched, but I learned what EVA foam was and how you could make armor out of it.
Cool.
And that kind of changed the game for me. So after watching that, I got in contact with one of the cosplayers on Cosplay Melee, which was Joshua Monroe of Cosplay Armory, and he kind of gave me the basic rundown of what I needed to do. And ever since I made my first Paldron, and ever since then, I've been absolutely hooked and can't get enough of it. So it was actually TV that brought me into cosplay, which is not what most people say, but being in Southern Mississippi, there's not a huge convention scene, as you all may get. So how I had to kind of consume it was through mass media.
Okay.
Cool.
Now I'm I don't quite remember because I talk to literally hundreds of cosplayers a year. But how did we end up with you submitting photos to our cosplayer contest?
I think it was one of the Facebook promotion pages. I'm pretty sure that I saw that you guys were featuring a daily cosplayer, so I just went out on a limb and sent you all my first set of photos and asked if I could be entered.
Yes, your first set.
That-
Remember
that's-
your first set.
Yeah, that sounds exactly it. Now, I do want to say, now, the photographer in question with this story, I'm not going to name any names or anything. It was just like a quick, kind of, really quick thing that happened earlier this year. It wasn't really that long ago. I think, October?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly when we featured you, but it wasn't more than a couple of months ago. And we had submitted your photo, and I will say that up to this point, we had tried to give photographer credit, but to be honest, if somebody didn't submit photographer credit, I always assumed that it was either a family member that took the photos, or like it was a selfie, or maybe they just set a camera up and took their own stuff.
That does happen.
So I can't remember exactly how it worked, but we had done a photo of yours like that morning, and like halfway through the day, I had gotten a like a message, and the photographer was like, "Hey, you didn't, mention me, or you something about we had cropped the watermark out," and I was like, I didn't. I was like, I don't think there's a way around that. I don't like, cause see, while I'm not really new to Facebook, if I'm making a constant mistake and somebody doesn't point it out, I don't know there's a problem. And so apparently I had been featuring all of these photos as our profile photo and cropping out large portions of them because Facebook automatically does that. I didn't know that you could skip cropping and feature the whole thing.
I taught him that.
Yeah, she actually taught me that, like after this incident.
Yeah.
And so I get this message. She's like, I don't appreciate you not giving me credit, cropping out part of my photo. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. We'll fix it. And so I fixed it, and I was like, there. My apologies. It won't happen again. Now I know better. And it was like, no, that's not good enough. You're not being, this is just totally unprofessional.
Yeah.
And just kept on and on and on and
Yeah,
on.
this person would not drop it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, holy crap, man. And so next thing I know, this incident between this person and I is getting shared all over social media. And I'm like, oh, dear God. This is the last thing I need. But luckily, nobody cared. So at that point, I was like, you know what? We're changing things. We're going to start I was just getting into Google Forms where people could actually log on to a Google form, fill it out, and we made it to where you couldn't submit a photo without offering photographer credit. And at that point, I knew how to feature a photo without cropping it. So everything was fixed. So while it was not really a good situation, it was a learning experience, and we ended up becoming better because of it. And since then, we've featured every photographer, never colored out a watermark or anything. And so that wasn't the end of the story. We actually changed your photo because I contacted you and said, hey, we need another photo. Do you have one not by this person?
Oh, wait,
because,
it was this...
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're like blacklisted now. So do you have anything that we can feature not by them? And you were like, yeah, this pyramid head, like cosplay. And I was like, okay. I was like, we're only going to be featuring it for like half a day. So I hate it, but this I guess this is just kind of the way it works. And we featured it, and in the span of like 12 hours, it ends up getting like 70 likes, which is well over the threshold to be considered for the All-Star competition. Because it has to be 50 or above, and this one just right over.
Because it's amazing. It's an amazing cosplay.
Yeah.
It was a great idea.
It Silent Hill is
Love
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Love it. And, when Lonnie got all the All-Stars together, I was like, this girl's going to win. I'm telling you right now, this costume is going to win.
Yeah, on day one, Amber called it, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
I was like,
we'll see. And
I was like, I'll be real surprised if she don't.
Lo and behold, through a mixture of you doing really a hell of a job promoting, and just the fact that it was a great cosplay that people loved anyway, you ended up jumping out to a healthy lead on day one and just never let it go.
Heck yeah.
So I got to know, and I know cosplayers are wondering, what's the secret?
What's the secret? Well, this might be a little bit of a lengthy answer because there's probably two parts to the secret. And one is passion and one is promotion. So first part is whenever I did Pyramid Head, it was totally a joke. It was one of those where I wanted Pyramid Head, not many people know this, was my first sword I ever constructed and my first helm I ever constructed.
Cool.
and I wanted something challenging, and I love Silent Hill, and I love Pyramid Head, and so I said, you know what, I'm just going to make this Pyramid Head, and so the more and more I was working, I was like, I kind of want to make this something funny, I want to make this something, maybe I'll put him in like a Lolita dress or something, and then it kind of hit me, Pyramid Head, he has to be a maid, and so that kind of became this thing, and when I made it, I had no intention of anybody really appreciating it on a wider scale because of it being kind of this strange cosplay. So my first point is that cosplay what you want, and don't be intimidated if it's not something popular or not something you don't think people will know. Silent Hill is not in its prime. It's not something that everybody identifies with, and it's kind of a niche market in horror gaming. It wasn't something that I thought would become mainstream. I didn't think it was something that people would really appreciate. So it just shows you that just because it's not a comic that everybody knows or a video game that everybody's playing right now doesn't mean that your passion and the love you put into it isn't going to show through your costume, because that was clearly the case with me, that it was a pun that was kind of a cheesy pun at that, but I had fun doing it, and it shows in the quality of my work. So that's kind of the first thing, is if you're having fun and you're passionate about the franchise or about the cosplay you're making, it's going to show and people are going to see it and going to notice it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is promotion, and a little bit more promotion. I don't have a huge social media following. Just this week, I hit the 800 point on my like page,
Oh, wow.
which is solid, but it's small. So I don't just have the numbers where I can share that post one time and I get 500 likes. I don't have that platform quite yet. I'm building it. I'm working on it. But I didn't just share it to my Facebook page and my cosplay page. I shared it to local groups for Southern cosplayers. I shared it to promotional groups. And just coming to people and saying, hey, I'm passionate about this. This is a weird thing that I constructed myself, and I'd really like it if you could check it out. There's something to be said about, I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, you got 800 likes on Facebook, that's really good. And yeah, for my small market and niche that I cosplay for, it is pretty good. But at the same time, I worked hard for that, putting myself out in promotional groups, making sure to like people's pages, being a person in the community that they can come to for help and advice, and also being an influencer in the community where someone maybe posts on cosplay help and advice about, I don't know how to make this thing out of EVA foam. Being that person that says, hey, I'd love to help you with that. Why don't you message me? You don't realize the volumes and the waves that makes in that person's view of you, and how much they're willing to support you when you're willing to support them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something about a mutual supporting of the community. If you're being a cosplayer and you don't support the cosplay community, you're doing it wrong. You should stop cosplaying right now. Mm-hmm. Being a cosplayer that is out in the community and is looking at cosplayers and going, you're amazing, you're great, and not just these top tier elite.
What happened?
Where'd she go?
Oh, tell me we haven't lost her.
Oh,
In the community.
no. Okay,
oh,
there
we're good,
you are.
we're good.
We lost you for a minute.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of.
Oh,
You were kind of cutting out a little bit.
Where did I leave off?
If you're not out in the cosplay community going, hey, I like your costume, that's where we left off.
Basically, it's the same with everything in life. The positivity you put out there in the world will be met. So if you're being positive and supportive to people in your community, they're going to be positive and supportive to you back. And that's kind of my main advice. If you're going out there and you're sharing the love, it's going to be returned. So that's my big secret, is be passionate about what you're doing, and love every piece that you make, and support your fellow cosplayers no matter how big or how small.
I will say, this is kind of funny because you say you made this cosplay as kind of a joke.
But it's amazing.
But
Yes.
me personally,
Yes.
I know this is kind of crazy, but me personally, I never found anything funny about it. To me, it was like creepy cool. Like, I never saw the joke. I was looking at it and I'm thinking, God almighty, I would hate to be like walking down a hotel hallway and see that. Holy crap, dude.
People have walked down hotel hallways and seen that.
And pissed their pants, I'm thinking.
right, we got several people in the chat. Cartoons in the chat. Goku's in the chat. Nicholas Brown is here, and he says, "Mega happy for you." He's really happy
That's
for you.
my photographer. That's Tsukimi.
Hey!
Oh, hey! Devasso's in the chat, and he says he can cosplay a rock. I was like, cool.
You know, I actually think that might require some skill to do it right.
Cosplay a rock. And he said his friend could cosplay a stick.
All right, dude.
That's great. It's awesome. Hey, we all have our talents, I guess.
Now, awesome enough is, just so everybody knows, we're doing this all over again in 2018. We're doing daily cosplay features, and anybody who gets 50 likes or more over the course of their feature will be entered into a December 2018 All-Star competition for, yet again, Cosplayer of the Year. And this year, we managed to have 12 cosplayers who hit the 50 like threshold. So it is an elite group. Not just anybody can do it. If you get on there and you promote and you have a really good cosplay and people like it, then it will go up there. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure you work in social media, so you're aware of the struggles that come from Facebook's most recent algorithm changes, and the fact that, I mean, I kid you not, 2 years ago, we were pulling in like 4 million views a week, and now we're getting something like 200,000. And it's the same quality content, and back then we were getting that with something like 1,000 fans, and now we have 15,000 fans and have 10% of the views. So they're getting more and more to a pay-for-play deal, and I even heard just recently that if their, I guess, engine kind of senses that you're saying, hey, like this photo or whatever, if you're fishing for likes or fishing for comments, that they will purposefully hide your post now.
Yep, they sure will.
So that sucks, because that is really going to hurt the cosplay competitions. And it'll probably make it even more difficult. I mean, I hate to be like a naysayer, but it sucks. It's like, I don't know really what they're planning on doing with that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I don't understand why they want to do that either.
I think it's stupid.
I mean,
it is what it is. People are going to end up migrating to another social media platform.
It's just going to be the death of Facebook is how I see it. Just because when any type of platform that tries to monetize to this level, people aren't going to pay for it if another platform comes out and says, hey, we aren't going to charge you for that. So it's one of those things that's definitely going to be a rough game for a while until the algorithm is completely set. But that's a thing that even as cosplayers we're seeing. If we're a like page, even if we're not asking for likes, even if I do a call to action like, share a GIF in the comments with your response, or, share X, Y, and Z, I get more hidden than if I was just to post content. So it's something that a lot of cosplayers and a lot of like pages like yourselves are really feeling hard. And so either it's going to be corrected or people are going to start migrating. That's exactly how I foresee it.
yeah.
Yeah, it almost seems like the cosplay community is using Instagram almost 5 to 1 over Facebook right now.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we've kind of upped our Instagram presence.
Yep.
You know, we want to, our biggest mission, really, as far as our channel's concerned, is helping those cosplayers who have 100, 200, 300 likes to make it to the level of, 15, 20, 25,000 fans. And
Hence the network.
yeah, Untitled Nerd Network. So, I mean, I would hope that we helped you along there. And also, I believe tomorrow is the day that she'll be getting her $25 gift card, right? Yeah. So actually, send me your correct email after the event, after the show, and we'll be sure to get you your gift card tomorrow afternoon. So
I'm gonna buy cosplay supplies with it.
All right.
I was actually gonna ask, what's on the?
It's like I'm going to Disney World on $25.
For my merch cosplay I'm working on. That is the plan. So I'm just taking that and I'm putting it right back into craft. So
Cool. Awesome. We're glad to be able to help you with that. That's awesome.
yeah, absolutely. You guys have helped me not only with that, but I want to say when I submitted my picture in October, I was at about 500 likes. So I've jumped over 300 between now and then.
Yay.
So,
Awesome.
and I would say that I promote in promotion sites, but a lot of the traffic I've been getting to my site and a lot of the people that have been engaging with my posts, which if pro tip to all cosplayers out there that might be watching this, your page like number is awesome, but essentially when people are trying to book you, what they're looking at is fan engagement. So they're more worried about if people are commenting on your page, if people are liking your pictures, if you're communicating back with them. And I'm not saying liking their comments. I'm saying they say, hey, this is awesome cosplay. You go, thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir or madam. That is what I am saying. Taking the time to communicate with all those people on your comments. That is what they're looking at.
I've noticed that because, like on our page, pretty much every person that said anything about your cosplay, you were right there commenting right back.
To them.
Yeah.
Well, for one, and one that comes from a place of me being genuinely thankful for anyone that would take the time to comment on my photo or to like it. First and foremost, it's a lot easier to do nothing than to do something. So for anybody to even take the time to comment on the photo, that does mean the world to me. And two, if you take the time to comment on the photo, you don't expect a response from the person that made it. So I know that does speak volumes for your character when you're willing to take the time and interact with those people. It's they're supporting you, so why wouldn't you support them? Back to my golden rule. But one of those things that I will say is that a lot of the people that I have on my page now that engage with me on a consistent level found me through UNN. So
cool.
I can be a great testament to take the time. The 3 seconds it takes to fill out a form and send a picture, it's going to be worth your time. Even if you get 14 people that like your page, just 14 new people you get to engage and communicate with. I mean, that's
and
worth
share
every second of it.
and so on and so forth. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I got a lot more than 14, so let me be a testament that it absolutely was something that I am so happy I took the time to do, and I really am truly thankful to you guys for taking the, because I mean I know that being an admin to that, like a contest like that, can be cumbersome and can take up time. So
It did a little bit.
Yeah, because that was totally Lonnie's thing. I mean,
yeah.
Sarah and I both helped admin the page, but that was totally his thing. He updated it, kept up
and
with
those
numbers.
daily update posts to light that fire, like, hey, we got hashtag cosplay in first, and this person in second, and this is the gap. Like, those are things that I know take a long time to do, and so I'm appreciative that somebody would do that just for me to win a competition or for someone else to win a competition.
Aww.
That generally is just them doing us a favor. That means a lot to me that somebody would take the time, because I know, as a person who works in this field for a living, I know the time that goes into just making a post where you link all of our cosplay pages in sequential order. I know that probably took time just writing down all those totals and having
Yeah, and he had to be like, oh, it was plus this many, plus this many.
Yes, and he did math. Like, that required a calculator, and like that's what it takes time. And
Oh God, people's talking good about me. I gotta go.
No.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm not just saying this because I won. If I lost, I would have said this, just for the record. But but no, I'll just say that it seems like a small thing, but I want you to know that people do recognize the effort that goes into that, and I'm one of those people that absolutely does recognize the effort, and I am so appreciative. And the fact that I won is just sprinkles on that ice cream cone, so I appreciate it a lot.
Aw.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
Like, I don't even know how to react when somebody sings my praises like that. I'm just like,
I can do more. No.
Basically. Luckily, we've got the color turned on to where you can't really see me turning red.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, so, I mean, you've talked about, like, what it's like being a cosplayer down in Mississippi. Are there any? I mean, the scene might not be huge, but are there like any local shows? I mean, like we have what, two major shows and a couple
No,
of.
we have 3 major shows, and we have smaller ones. Well, we have Chatacon, Connuga, and Anime Blast.
Yes.
Anime Blast is really huge.
I keep forgetting about Anime Blast because I'm not an anime
Yeah,
person.
he's not an anime person.
For the record, we are trying to change that. We're working on getting somebody in here who knows some anime. I personally am wanting to end like a 2-year drought because people have been begging for anime.
Mm-hmm.
You're an anime fan, right? I mean,
I'm an anime fan.
And luckily, Loot Crate last month gave out a card with like a little 10-digit code or whatever, and it's for some kind of
Crunchyroll, isn't it?
No, it's
No,
like
something else?
it's an all-in-one anime service that you can get on like Android, PS4,
Oh, okay.
computer, whatever, and it has Crunchyroll on it. It's got Rooster Teeth and like 4 or 5 other like animation type channels all on one big app, and I think it's $10 a month. If not, there's a $10 code that we're actually going to use, and we're going to start looking through some anime and stuff and start doing reviews. I got to get out of my comfort zone. I got
In
to.
order to grow, you have to get out
Because-
of
And
the comfort zone.
all anime is not the same. It's also finding the type of anime you like. Because, some people like really moe blob cute stuff, and some people like show-in stuff like Dragon Ball and all that like action that goes into it. I'm a huge horror fan. I always tell people with anime, I'm one of 2 things. I either like it to be bloody and ridiculous, or I like it to be so cute that I want to punch a baby. Those are the 2 things that I like.
Oh yeah, totally.
I love Hellsing. Hellsing is great if you're starting out. It's perfect action and horror. It's vampires and wonderful action
All
scenes.
right.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
Hellsing Ultimate and Unabridged, all great. Recommend every single last one of them. Also, if you like action, One Punch Man is a perfect
Everybody says
balance
One Punch Man.
of comedy and action. So definitely, those are 2 I like to recommend people. Like, oh, I don't like anime. Those are good. Like, I don't like anime, but these I can get on board with this. So
Well, I'll say I'm not a big anime fan, but I've watched. Now, I don't know if it really even counts, but I've watched the first season of Pokemon.
I love Pokemon.
Was a real big fan of that. Matter of fact, we watched the Pokemon first movie
Yesterday.
for the first time.
Yeah, because I've never. Well, I had, but God, I was young. I was a kid when it came out. So
No, I mean it came out in like '98 or '99.
no, it came out before that.
It came out in 9.
You sure?
I was 8 years old.
Listen, I was 8 years old.
But no, we watched the first Pokemon movie, and see, I'm a huge Mewtwo fan. Like, I'd never seen Mewtwo in the cartoon or anything, but I mean, God, I've even got an unopened action figure of Mewtwo up on the wall over here.
Here's Mew.
He's a legendary.
Yeah, no, that's Mew.
Oh, is that Mew?
Wait,
No, it's not. He's purple. Mew's not purple. He's pink.
He's pink. Mewtwo is like purple and white.
well, this is a single tone. Can you tell?
I don't
I think
know.
Mewtwo. I think it's supposed to be Mewtwo. Because
Yeah.
the tail looks like Mewtwo's tail.
Yeah, and it's got the little. Yeah, okay. So anyway, like I'm a big Mewtwo fan, and
Because cats.
I watched this. We went and got the VHS from a thrift store in like a 3 for $1 sale.
So
and
good.
popped it in, watched it for the first time, and in the scene, I guess it's okay to give a spoiler on this
Oh yeah.
because everybody's
Oh,
seen
let's
it.
see it.
At the end, where Ash gets caught in the blast and turns to stone, and Pikachu's trying to revive him with electric shocks, I cried like a baby while we were
did.
watching that.
I remember
I
when
was
y'all had
sad.
that on one night
Oh,
or
Pikachu's
something.
hitting the other Pikachu, and
video.
it's just so sad.
Oh my God! I was sitting right here, and we were watching it, and I looked over at Amber, and I was like,
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, I
is
was like,
what
I
it
can't
said.
deal. I mean, I was like, just tears going, and I was like, son of...
I mean, I couldn't
No.
do it, but he was very good. Bless his heart.
Because, I mean, crap like that gets to me. I'm I don't know, the emotional crap that they put in some of these movies. They need to warn you about it before you go in. But I was very impressed with that. And aside from that, I watched like the first episode of High School of the Dead,
which is good. That's good.
I love High School Today. I watched about half the season.
I thought it was okay.
It gets better as you watch it. Throw that in there.
The anime that I really do like, and I need to finish it. Really I watched about the first half of season 1 of Attack on Titan.
Good. That's solid anime.
I loved it, and there's a lot of questions that I need answered that I need to continue watching.
I'm not gonna give them all to you, but just keep on watching. But if you like Attack on Titan, Hellsing will be right up your alley, because Attack on Titan kind of has that horror vibe, but it's also mainly action.
Yeah.
You gotta watch Hellsing now.
If it tells you anything about where I'm at in Attack on Titan, the last episode I watched, they introduced a female Titan.
Yep.
And I have no clue what's going on there, so...
Yeah. Changes the game.
Changes the game. What's up? Something wrong?
No, I'm getting page-related messages all of a sudden.
Because of this wonderful live stream, just bringing all the attention to the page.
The hell?
In season 4, the Doctor Who Doctor's Daughter is coming back June of next year on her own short series of 4 episodes.
Oh.
I've never watched Doctor Who.
I haven't either.
I have watched a handful of episodes with my sister. I think I like it. What I watched of it was really good.
My friend told me, they're like, don't start on season 1, start on season 5, so that, and then get hooked, and then go back and watch the old ones. But I feel like I could like Doctor Who, I just don't know how to watch Doctor Who. Because I love sci-fi.
I sat down and I guess what's considered season 1 of the new series with the Ninth Doctor, the modern era, I guess. I watched it. I'd never seen Doctor Who before. I really, really enjoyed the Ninth Doctor. Made it all the way through that. And then the 10th Doctor. Huh?
Who's the actor of the Ninth Doctor?
I don't know.
Is that Matthew Smith, or who is it?
That was Eccleston.
Okay.
Eccleston. Okay, cool.
Was the Ninth Doctor, and the 10th one. Crap. I don't know. I can't remember the dude's name. See, I watched the first 2 episodes of the 10th Doctor, and then I just kind of got away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still on Amazon?
I don't know. I guess
I
it
think
is.
so. I think all but the most recent seasons on Amazon.
Have to check that out, because that's seems to be
Probably because my sister and them for Christmas Eve are watching all the Christmas episodes of Doctor Who.
Oh, that sounds fun, though. I don't even like the show, but that sounds fun.
That's right. Yeah. That sounds fun.
So I have to ask, what is on your list of things you like to watch? Games you like to play? Movies, TV shows? What's on your fun list?
My fun list. Okay, so first and foremost, as it probably shows from my cosplay, I am a video gamer, first and foremost.
Awesome.
So I game pretty hardcore. I'm a console gamer. I'm not a PC gamer as of late, but I'm a huge Blizzard fan, so I love Overwatch, clearly. I love Overwatch. I love Diablo 3. My favorite game of all time is Witcher 3. Love the Witcher franchise, so good. And that's kind of my unwind, relaxed game. I also love Destiny. I love all of that. If you're on PS4, Rockagilly is my PS4 name. Everybody has to play and be best friends. But then also for a TV show wise, like we were discussing before the stream, I'm a huge American Horror Story fan. So when it comes to a franchise, I am American Horror Story all the way. I said my favorite season is Freak Show, which apparently is not a lot of people's favorite season, but it's my favorite season.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with it. I like the Freak Show season.
I love Freak Show. It was
it's not one of my favorites, but it's still really good.
It's so good. So that's my favorite. But there's, like I said, I don't dislike any of the seasons. My favorite just happens to be 4. Um, Also, I just movie wise, like I will say that there's probably not a lot of like modern day movies and TV shows I've gotten super into. I seem to rewatch a lot of the stuff from my past. Like I could rewatch the Lord of the Rings trilogy every single day and be totally.
That's funny. That's Lonnie's cup of tea,
And
definitely.
that's my thing. And then Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm from the Harry Potter generation. I'm a Slytherin, proud. But I love the books, love the films, could rewatch and reread every day. And then as far as like non-nerd related, I do love me some Netflix originals. Like I'm an Orange is the New Black fanatic, and there's no shame in this game at all. Morello is my girl. I cosplay her casually when I was at Dragon Con because I love
cool.
Morello that much.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so but video games are my main thing. Usually RPGs, and some shooters like Overwatch, and then fighters. I love like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, all that jazz. But
You a fan of Skyrim?
I love Skyrim because I love Bethesda. Because Fallout, obviously, I do a Fallout Raider, so I'm a big Bethesda fan. I will say I have not played Skyrim as much as I like, and my friend Beth, who's a local cosplayer, and is absolutely fantastic. She's next level, god tier. I'll push her to go for 2018 because y'all need to see her. But so she's a huge Skyrim fan, and she's been pushing me to go back and try them because I've played the Elder Scrolls Oblivion series. I played only Skyrim just a little bit, and I know that I didn't give it the chance I needed to give it. So I'm gonna go back and probably play Skyrim. Honestly, probably 2018. That's my thing. It's just to get addicted to Skyrim all over again. So.
Oh my god, yeah. I got to tell this story.
Yes.
Yay.
This sucks. But we just did, like, literally it wrapped up yesterday morning. We did a 24-hour Skyrim game stream to benefit the local Humane Educational Society.
Awesome.
And first off, I only made it to 20 hours, and then I was out. I was like, dang, it sucks. Because it was just me playing. And so at 20 hours, I was like, I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't. I'm 4 hours short, but I didn't make it. But I think really what took the wind out of my sails is I was 3 trophies short of getting a platinum trophy. I had to get 100,000 gold at one time. I had to return the Thieves Guild to its former glory, and then I had to get the 15 Daedric artifacts. Well, I said, by the end of this stream, we're going to have a platinum trophy. So first, we return the Thieves Guild to its former glory, and the whole time I'm saving up gold. Finally got the 100,000 gold. Well, I'd say, what was it, about maybe midnight, 11 p.m., something like that.
11.
I finally wrapped up all the Daedric quests, and I was like, yes! So I look, and it doesn't give me the trophy. And so I've heard people say, oh, there's bugs and everything, and, something might not work. So I go through my strategy guide, and I look at every individual Daedric quest, what item it gives me, and I compare it to my quest listing on the game. And I'm marking them off. You're supposed to get 15. The 15th one, earlier on in the game, I didn't know that it was a Daedric artifact that I needed. It was destroyed in the quest.
Oh, no!
And I was one Daedric artifact short from being able to platinum the game. And at that point, you can't do it on that playthrough. You have to start all over and build a character up to where you can do it again. And at that point, I was like...
Yeah. Yeah, he was not the same after that.
I probably tried and never played a Bethesda game ever again. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no, I mean I'll do it. Matter of fact, I was gonna do it today, and we just got busy with other stuff. But Skyrim is gonna be streamed on our channel pretty heavily for the next few weeks.
I'll be watching because that's some good stuff.
So I think what are we like? I think like level 5 now.
Yeah, level 5.
Yeah, because I did have I always play with a Khajiit with a bow and arrow, and it was the Khajiit's name was Mittens McFlufferbottom. Do what?
always play. I mean, like I always admire like sniper and like range classes because I'm like a hardcore tank. Like, give me a big old two-handed weapon, just like plow an
That's
orc.
funny.
I'm a 5'4" like small woman, and that is what I want to play as when I'm playing video games. It's just give me a big weapon, tear stuff up. But no, like that range stuff, like a bow and arrow, that's not easy to play by any means. So I admire
It does
that.
take practice.
Yeah, I like it because we had the Khajiit named Mittens, and that was actually like a contest somebody won last year. Before I started playing, I was like, hey, whoever gives a name in the comments, and whoever gets the most likes on that name, I will name the character anything you want, as long as it's not like vulgar. And so somebody commented and got like 14 likes on a Mittens McFlufferbottom.
God.
And so I was like, oh crap. So it became a normal thing. And I ended up naming the cat up here Mittens, the one that we have up here.
The creepy cat.
And so now every time I make a cat character, its name's Mittens. And but what was it? The second character I made after the debacle the other day was I named it Jubilee after my kitty over there laying in my office chair.
Oh, I was like X-Men.
Yes. Yeah, our cats' names are Jubilee and Logan.
Oh, perfect! Awesome,
So.
love it. I love it. My favorite comic of all time.
That and I have an unhealthy obsession with Jubilee. I'll have to send you pictures or a video of my collection at some point.
Awesome.
But yeah, we'll have to get on PlayStation and like play something. The PlayStation like came on whenever I said PlayStation.
It was like, yes.
Pretty much, it was. It was like, go back to home screen.
Crap, I have gone blank.
All right, any future projects you're working on? Any cons you might be at, or?
Yes, I have a couple. So, first and foremost, my most recent con I'm gonna be at is at Wizard World New Orleans. So yes, I'm only going for a day because if anybody's ever been to Wizard World, it's great, but it's expensive. So budget-wise, we're only going to do one day. But I am doing Dr. Angela Ziegler, which is Mercy from Overwatch, but it's who she was before she was an Overwatch member. She was a doctor.
Cool.
So I'm making Dr. Mercy essentially, and I'm making a lab coat that I mod out to look like her classic skin, as well as I'm making a briefcase that looks like an Overwatch health crate, and she's going to have some health tubes strapped to her arm that I made out of EVA foam, so just going to have a lot of fun with that character. One of my really good friends, Funny Monkey Cosplay, he made me a 3D print Halo as kind of a gift, so I have to, of course, do me some mercy now that I have my awesome Halo that someone's sending me.
Yay.
And after that, I have... on the Overwatch Bane, I'm trying to do an armored diva that looks kind of like World of Warcraft classic armor, so a lot of like spikes and delicate like filigree and whatnot, but bringing that just very classic diva bunny, pink and cute. So doing that, as well as I'm doing Moomin Rider from One Punch Man, which you have to watch. But Moomin Rider is a great character who is a hero, but he's not really a hero because he's strong. He's a hero because he has a hero's heart, and he rides a bike everywhere, and he calls himself the Cyclist for Justice. So
awesome.
I'm having a lot of fun with that. Of course, I do primarily gender bend. I do a lot of male characters that I make into female characters. So I'm making Moomin Rider into a lovely lady, but it should be a good time. A lot of armor and a lot of EVA foam. I have lists and lists of characters I want to cosplay, but those are the three that I'm really trying to hit hard. And then con-wise, after Wizard World, I'm going to be at Pensacola Con in Florida. And I'm going to be at Mississippi Comic-Con and Mississippi Anime Fest, which are in Jackson, Mississippi. One thing that is cool about where I live in Mississippi is we call ourselves the Hub City, and that's because I'm an hour from Mobile, Alabama. I'm an hour from New Orleans. I'm an hour from Jackson. I'm an hour from the coast of Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
So,
Hey.
a lot of the cons I go to aren't necessarily local cons, but are definitely a drivable distance if you want to go for a day and come back. As well as we do have one local con called Southern Geek Fest, which is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It's a smaller con. I think it's on its second year, was this year, so next year will be its third. But it's still a really fun con, and it's, small, and sometimes small cons are almost more fun than big cons because you get to go. You don't have the schedule struggling that you have with larger cons where you're like, I want to do 15,000 things, but I only have 2 days. And I went to Dragon Con this last year, and that was by far the largest con I've ever been to. And I plan on going again this coming year, which of course is in September. But if anybody has been to Dragon Con, they know that it's not something that you plan a month in advance. That's something you plan a year in advance to be able to go to. I am excited about it, but my first ever experience there, I love Dragon Con, don't get me wrong. I had a blast, met some amazing people, saw some of the best cosplay I've ever seen in my entire life, to the point where it almost brought me to tears. It was so beautiful. But I was so overwhelmed that I almost enjoyed my smaller con experiences more than Dragon Con, just because I wasn't so just like overstimulated by everything happening. So,
right.
Although Mississippi we have smaller cons, there is something to be said for the fun in smaller cons. So I'm excited about my little projects, and hopefully we'll have Mercy done the first weekend in January. But we'll see. I'm famous for con crunch, so I am a big person that is finalizing my painting and hot gluing in said con room. So we'll see how that goes for me. Hoping to have this one done at least 3 days for the con. That's the big goal.
Awesome.
I absolutely love that little set you have hanging up behind you, the NES controller.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
See, I never saw it.
I actually painted those as like a little
wall
decor, and that's actually, when they talked about that, I was going to show this. These are my swords.
Because those are awesome.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
She made those.
Yeah, I have my... Oh, sorry. I have my Cloud Buster sword, as well as my Pyramid Head cleaver under that, and then I have my Pyramid Head helm.
Hey, there it is. Look at that.
That's so awesome.
So, yeah, those are my big props. I was telling them the only way I can really store them is to hang on my wall, because they're 5-foot props. I'm a 5'4" person, so they're pretty large. So I hang them up there. But yeah, this is my cosplay room. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I don't have a roommate because I have to have a room for cosplay. So this is my craft room, so it has all my nerd stuff on the walls.
I'll tell you, even if I was to have made that pyramid head, like, I don't know if I could sit in the same room with that thing hanging on the wall. Like, even if I was to make it, because that is the creepiest looking thing. And I've never even played Silent Hill, and I know it's like...
To be fair, Pyramid Head is just notoriously a very terrifying character. Even in Silent Hill, he's just that one that when he always scares the pants off of you whenever you see him. So, but yeah, I think it was so funny because I did the picture that didn't quite make it to the competition because of photographer things was my Princess Bubblegum, my Warrior Princess Bubblegum, which was the first cute cosplay I'd ever done. Up until that point, I was a Fallout Raider and my Silent Hill. And so I was used to just being like fake blood and just weapons and just covered in dirt and just this grime. And so when I did Princess Bubblegum, I was like, wow, I feel so pink and delightful this whole time. Kids aren't scared to talk to me at conventions, and but I'm so used to the blood and gore props. They don't even bother me. But I've actually had several people be like, this is just strange. This is on your wall. And I'm like, it's just what I like.
Right?
Just love horror.
So you mentioned, like, you're a big Nintendo person. What's your favorite Nintendo game?
That's hard. But I was probably my favorite Nintendo game would be a two-way split, which are probably pretty generic, but would be Link to the Past for Super Nintendo, because Legend of Zelda, and then Super Mario for Nintendo 64. Because
yes. Yes.
Yeah, Mario game that you had in 64, and then also I don't know Mario Kart. Throw Mario Kart in there too for 64 because that was like the dawn of an age with Mario Kart. Was the 64 Mario Kart? Oh, so
Yes.
good. Mortal Kombat 3 for Super Nintendo. You had Shiva in that game, and it was so good. And back then, that's when it was like super bloody and gory, and the like 8-bit little squirt of blood was just the most ridiculous thing that you'd ever seen.
Yes.
And now it's like Silent Hill, no big deal.
Right.
But no, definitely. But like I was telling y'all earlier, cartridge gaming, big piece of my heart. Love Nintendo. I also love, of course, Pokemon. If we're talking handheld Nintendo. And honestly, I loved Pokemon X and Y, which is one of the most recent Pokemon games that came out. I am a huge just cartridge gaming fan. I play PS4, but my heart will always be with some Nintendo. I love Nintendo so much.
Awesome. We got Chaotic and Terror in the chat. Hey girl, so proud of you. Yes.
She is another amazing cosplayer. She's local. She's from Mississippi Gulf Coast. She does Fallout power armor. She does a Nuka-Cola T51 power armor.
Holy crap.
Melt your face amazing. And she is only, I think, 20 years old. If I had had a fraction of that talent when I was 20 years old, I don't think I'd be working in social media marketing. I think I'd be doing that for a living. So,
all right.
Exceptionally talented kid, as well as she does a Diablo 3 wizard that is amazing. So she is a person that supports me too much because she is far more talented than I could ever dream of being. But she's a great person. So.
Cool. Do you have anything you want to ask?
You took my question.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me.
Are you coming up this way anytime soon?
I would love to because I actually worked in Tennessee for 3 months in Sevierville. And I've been itching to come back up because mountains are kind of my thing. So
okay.
I would love to come up this way. I mean, that would be amazing. I love the northern part of the southern hemisphere. So
right, yeah, gotcha.
My parents live in northern Georgia and it's beautiful. So North Georgia and Tennessee is a big thing for me. So I would love to come up for a con. You guys gotta just tell me to send me an invite whenever there's a good con, and I will be there.
Okay, cool.
I tell you, like, I was sitting there thinking about this. I was like, crap, I wish we would have planned ahead because it never occurred to me some of the promotional opportunities that we have. Like, we need to make it from now on to, like, anytime we have a cosplayer of the year, if they're local or, like, in the States, like, I want to figure out some way to get them to, like, Conuga.
That would be
cool.
Or,
that would definitely
like, Wizard World or something like that.
What time of year is that?
Conuga? Conuga's in February.
Yeah, the last weekend of February.
Yeah. Conuga's in February. Chattacon's next month. And we have a small one here in like East Ridge where we're based out of, like tiny. It's only for a day, and it's called FarleyCon.
Yeah, and then like this past fall we went to Wizard World Nashville, and they hooked us up with free tickets and everything, and a table, and that would be like an ideal thing to bring somebody in because the ticket's free and all that other good stuff. But I don't know if they're going to have a Nashville show this year.
Yeah.
They were supposed to add a lot more shows. Yeah, they're like iffy. They're supposed to have a lot more shows this year. And the closest one they have to us is like, Montgomery, Alabama?
Yeah, Montgomery, Alabama.
And that may end up being the one that we go to.
I was going to say that she's pretty close to there.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
So.
And that's kind of where we're leaning right now, unless they suddenly announce, a Nashville show or an Atlanta show.
Well, I'm just going to throw that out right now. If you do an Atlanta, Nashville, Montgomery show, I'm there, and I'll be proud to represent UNN.
Yay! Awesome!
I tell you what. Granted, it's gonna be in like October or November.
Gives me plenty of time to make an awesome costume.
Yeah. I tell you what, we'll make a spur of the moment decision right here.
Do it.
our show, whether it's Nashville or Montgomery. Right now, Montgomery is the show that we're probably going to end up going to. Since you were our 2017 Cosplayer of the Year, we will give you a free weekend pass to come hang out with us at the table
Yay!
Awesome!
for Montgomery. I mean, granted, 2018 will almost be over at that point, but
still.
we got to hook you up. We got to hook you up with something and have you there to be like, hey, I won it last year, because that'll be like crunch time for last minute entries and stuff like that. So, and that'll be our last con of the year, probably.
Yeah, it will be.
Exactly. Physical hashtag cosplay will be there whenever you're close by. And if you ever want me to promote and try to push some people to get in 2018, I'll be there as much as I can digitally as well.
Yay!
So, I mean,
I love it. Networking.
you guys,
Yay!
you guys this olive branch. So, of course, like, the least I could do is coming to a con and us all just looking awesome together. That sounds cool to me.
Yay!
I would like,
I'm excited.
so, I'll do you proud.
Yay! I'm so excited. This is going to be fun.
But yeah, we're going to chisel that in stone. That's going to happen.
Yay!
So,
It'll be fun.
the only bad thing about that is they've not yet determined when the date's going to be for Montgomery. And we're still waiting to see if maybe they add some last minute shows towards the spring or early summer. We'll probably finalize our show schedule around June.
Awesome.
Because
Only
by
thing
then
is,
all of our other
have
cons.
on next year, but that's Labor Day weekend. But other than that, I am 152% will work around y'all. So,
Yay!
which I can Labor Day weekend, because no con feels in the South wants to compete with Dragon Con. So.
Right.
Montgomery doesn't have a date, but it's slated for October or November. That's the ballpark they have it in.
I can definitely do
so
that.
we'll see. I don't know, but we're probably going to end up going, because I don't see them adding another big like Nashville or something at the last minute. I think their schedule's pretty well finalized.
I'm shocked they're doing Montgomery, honestly. That seems weird they picked Montgomery over Nashville, but I'm not the marketing team at Wizard World, so who knows?
Pretty much.
I will say, as far as giving vendors and fan tables and stuff like that kind of guidance and, you know, just info and everything else, I've never, like, a con that big, they treat you like, you know, we go to Connuga, which is our local kind of medium-sized con. It's not huge, but it's not tiny. It's in a convention center. Nice place. And, you know, they treat everybody great. Wizard World gives you that same small group attention.
They honestly treat you like family. They really do.
Yeah.
They're so friendly,
We
helpful. Anything you need. I mean...
Yeah, anything you need, the extra tables, extra chairs. They had a vendor meeting, that Saturday?
That morning?
Or Friday.
Well, they have one Friday and Sunday, I
And
think.
we like all the vendors showed up. They had donuts and coffee set out for everybody.
Awesome.
The lady that I'd been talking to in regards to all of our scheduling and had pretty much been our point of contact, she personally came over there and said hey to us at our table that weekend.
Not to mention, like, how they let us earn free photo ops.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
We promoted the crap out of them.
I'm sad I need to
And
go.
they ended up hooking us
You're
up
going this
with...
time, though, so it's all good.
Heck yeah, I am.
Hey, Single Sarah will be with us, everybody. Oh, and I do need to point out right now, while we've got a bunch of people, you know, viewing and everything.
By the way, Master Chief is here and says hello, hello,
Cool.
hello.
Hey, man. For the next 2 months, until February 17th,
Oh Lord.
if you go to HESchat.org/donate, I think I might have that in the video description. If not, I'll add it. Or if you could type it into the chat.
I will look.
HESchat.org/donate and give at least $10 and select Untitled Nerd Network fundraiser. You can enter to win a Connuga date with Single Sarah.
I'm entering. Win. No.
Yeah, anybody, as long as you're not married, you can enter.
Oh, okay, cool. That still
We have
works.
standards. We have to...
The donate command still works.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So yeah, that's $10 donation to the Humane Educational Society. We do a lot of work with them, and that will enter each $10 donation will get you a chance at a date with Single Sarah. All you got to do is come to Conuga. You'll get a 3-day pass, $20 for the food trucks, and
Make a day out of it.
Get to spend Saturday with Sarah. So
Yeah, it's in the chat. I just posted it, Master Chief.
Wow.
He commented, was like, it's in the chat.
oh, good times.
All right, anyway, we probably should wrap this up.
Yeah,
I know we're
yeah.
having a
Well,
good
I mean,
time,
we've had a blast. We will, after we wrap, we'll stay on with you for just a few minutes after we
Yeah,
exit, so.
y'all that are under 18, no, that's a no. I'm sorry, Master Chief.
You got to be at least 18, can't be married, and
that's it.
huh?
And that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
No
there's some
other-
other stipulations somewhere that we just haven't considered yet.
I mean, we also said that doesn't mean any sexual relations, because, we have to say stuff like that. People are idiots.
Oh.
Like, what?
She didn't even know how to take that.
What?
It's like,
I'm sorry.
I'm not here to judge.
That's how I am.
I mean, we
man.
do got to say that around here, you know.
Not that... No.
It's like $10 for a chance at that.
Oh my god.
Somebody said it, I guarantee
Oh,
it.
yeah,
He says,
you did.
don't put that low of a price tag on me now.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Oh, all right. Anything else, y'all?
No, let's go.
Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it?
Just a big thank you to everyone who voted and everyone who supported not only me but all the beautiful ladies that were competing. It means the world to me, and I know it meant the world to them. So just thank you all so much for the support, and thank you all so much for the opportunity. So that's pretty much
like I
it.
said, thank you for entering, because we came from a time where we were so small that people didn't even give us a chance.
Mhm.
Our first ever cosplay contest, one woman entered and won it by default. And now we've grown to having like a 6-week backlog of features of people just wanting to be featured. Oh, and I do want to say, in addition to everything else, you are eligible to be featured again in 2018. And like, seriously, like, you could be featured once a month. That's really the rule. Anybody who's featured, even if you make the All-Stars team, you could still be featured once a month, as long as we don't have like a massive backlog. And you are eligible to be 2018's Cosplayer of the Year too, if you get the needed votes.
I may do it. I don't know, but also kind of want to pass the torch. So.
Right.
I mean, you never know, like somebody to get on there and be like 2-time to start out.
Right.
2-time Cosplayer of the Year. You can do like a little wrestling promo. Yeah.
Nicholas says, Psh, what you mean can't be married? My wife Totes wants to get rid of me.
Is that Nick Brown?
Yes.
That sounds like Nick Brown.
Oh, there's a hidden message in there somewhere.
No. I love that man. But he teases a lot. So.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks, Jillian of Hashtag Cosplay, for coming on. Congratulations once again for being our 2017
Yay.
Untitled Nerd Network Cosplayer of the Year. Thanks for everybody in the chat for dropping by. Sounds like chat was jumping tonight.
It was.
I almost wish I could have kept my eye on it. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Stay tuned because after this, the three of us are going to be staying up kind of late, and probably somewhere in the neighborhood of midnight. We'll be doing a live recap of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Extended Edition Blu-ray. We're going to wrap up disc 2 of that. We're going to...
Yes.
Stay tuned.
We'll be doing a live review of that live here at about, probably it's going to be about midnight. And then at some point before the week is up, I'm going to try my best to figure out how to live stream World of Warcraft. And I'm going to continue for that elusive platinum trophy in Skyrim Special Edition. So.
All right.
But anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. Again, thanks #Cosplay for coming on. And we'll be talking to you here in just a second after we wrap. My name's Lonnie.
I'm Amber.
I'm Ziegler Sarah.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux. Awesome comic book store out of Hickson, Tennessee. Drop by and see them. I think next issue of Doomsday Clock's coming out. And if I'm not mistaken, here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks' time, issue 175 of The Walking Dead's coming out with the first appearance of the New World Order. I can't wait. But everybody have a good rest of the night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see everybody around midnight for the Two Towers review. Thanks for watching.